Hey everybody, and welcome back to Lindsey's Little Library. So I'm here today with an announcement and beyond excited to do this. So I am teaming up with Amanda from The Curly Reader and Gloria from Gloria Thompson. I'll leave channels below. We are coming back with Historathon 3.0. It is back. It is the entire month of November. It is a readathon that we just strictly focus on historical fiction books. You can read one, you can read 20, you can, whatever. Just pick up a historical fiction book in November and it counts. It's just that easy. Of course, if you're looking for something a little more challenging, we have come up with a really fun challenge and we have a group read that we're going to all read together if you feel inclined. And then Amanda, myself, and Gloria will do a live show on November 30th to discuss the book. This book sounds so good. I am so excited for it. It's by one of my favorite historical fiction authors. Krista, I believe, has read this and said it was just the way she was talking about it. Amanda and I looked at each other and we're like, yep, that one. That's our group read. So beyond excited about that. We also have a fun challenge that we came up with and we're calling it a Stitch in Time. And so we're really challenging our readers to start with a book. In this case, I would suggest starting with the group read. And then each book you pick after that is a correlating prompt that you have to refer back to the book you read before. So they kind of all stitch together. So with this, we have 9 different prompts. Again, read what you can. We have created levels. So if you get through the first 3 prompts, you are a baron or baroness. If you get through the next 3 prompts, so the first 6, you are the Duke or the Duchess. And if you get through all of them, we will gladly crown you as Queen or King. So I'm going to show you my stack that I pulled based upon these prompts. I'm going to have a link below with graphics and all of the information that you need if you need to write it all down, because I don't expect you to remember it all because I had to write it down. Anyways. Oh man, but this made me really look at my shelves a little bit differently. And I love it when a challenge can do that and make me look a little bit deeper into my backlist and into books that don't necessarily pop out to me right away. And this absolutely did it for me. So let's talk about them. Okay, so our first prompt is a book with the word lost in the title. And this one, obviously, we're encouraging you to read the group read, The Lost Girls of Willowbrook by Ellen Marie Wiseman. I love Ellen Marie Wiseman. She has a way of writing historical fiction that just gets you so into the story, and she picks true events and really bases it around them and does a whole bunch of research. It's amazing how the story she puts together. But this new one, which actually just came out this year, not that long ago, yet it is pretty reasonably priced if you can find it. Yeah, it came out this year. And I picked this up on our trip, so I was excited. But this one follows our main character, Sage. She has an identical twin sister, and her sister, Rosemary, is just slightly different. What does she explain it? She's awake to every emotion, easily moved to joy or tears, and seemed to need more protection from the world. 6 years ago, Rosemary passed away from a pneumonia, and so Sage has been without her twin for that long. She's now 16, so when she was 10, she lost her sister, misses her dearly. Her mother has just passed away from a car accident, and Sage's stepfather is now her primary care provider. Sage is living with him in New York. They're just kind of roommates. There's really not much of a connection. They're just there. And one day she learns that Rosemary, her twin sister, is still alive. She did not pass away. She has been living in Willowbrook, which is a state school that is, I believe, on Staten Island. Is that right? Maybe not, but it's in New York. It's always been surrounded by rumor and mystery, and this part is true. Willowbrook did exist and was still operational like into, I want to say the 90s. I'm not sure, but somewhat recent. This is a place where local parents either threaten or send any of their misbehaving children to. And Sage has no idea what to expect, but she sets out for Willowbrook determined to find Rosemary, and finds out that Rosemary is actually, a few days ago, went missing from Willowbrook. She does learn when she steps through the doors and is mistakenly believed to be her sister how things will change. Identical twins, remember? So beyond excited to read this one. I may have already started it while I was sitting there, but I cannot wait. So that's prompt number 1, is a book with the word lost in the title. So then, keeping in mind the first book you read, so if I read that one, it's set in the United States. For my second book, I need to pick a book from a different country than the book I just read. Easy, right? Can't find one, can't read anything in the United States. So I'm gonna pick up Out of Hiding by Ruth Gruner. This one is one my daughter actually like legitimately put on my shelves and said, Mom, you have to read this book. So definitely looks middle grade-ish, but it takes place in Poland. So we have it says growing up Jewish in 1930s Poland, Ruth was hidden as a child during the Holocaust. She had to sit motionless and silent in the shadows, otherwise the Nazi would find her. World War II ends. Ruth and her parents are relieved to be alive and free, but their struggles as displaced people has just begun. So it's really post-World War II, kind of what happens with the Jewish community then. I'm intrigued. I mean, how can I say no when she's so excited about a book and she wants me to read it? I gotta read it. So there we go. The country that is different is Poland. So then for my third book, looking at my second book, I want to pick a book that has a similar cover. This one was fairly easy. Right? Pretty similar. So I'm going to pick up Irina's Children. This is the young readers edition of that, another book I think I got at the book fair we went to last year. This tells us the story of Irina Sendler, who is kind of deemed the female Oscar Schindler, saved 2,500 children's lives during World War II. And I believe she wrote all of their names on a piece of paper and put it in a jar and buried it in her yard. So this is the story of Irina and what she did. So that's my third prompt. Pretty similar colors. So then when I'm done reading this book, my next book I have to pick up needs to be set in a different decade than this one. All right, I can do that. This was what, 1940s, we're gonna say. Let's see, I just saw a year. How lucky did I get? 1943. So I'm looking for anything other than the 1940s. So I'm gonna pick up another book I've been really excited for lately, and this is The Confessions of Franny Langdon by Sarah Collins. So this one takes place in the 1800s in London. Everybody's abuzz with the scandalous case of Franny Langdon. She's accused of a brutal double murder of her employers, renowned scientist George Benham and his eccentric French wife Marguerite. Crowds pack the courtroom eagerly, following every twist while the newspapers print lurid theories about the killings and the mysterious women being tried at the Old Bailey. Franny claims she can't recall what happened that evening, even if remembering could save her life. So I'm interested to see where this goes. I'm really loving this cover too. So we're gonna go with that one. Kind of give me a little, mystery involved in my historical fiction. So then from here, which was a book set in a different decade, I need to find a book where the author's last name starts with the same letter as this author. So this is Sarah Collins. So I need to find a book by an author with a C for the last name. Which, when your shelves are arranged in rainbow, is not the easiest thing to do, but I found one. So I have The House Girl by Tara Conklin. It worked. I picked it up. So this one we have dual timelines. We're in Virginia in 1852. We have a 17-year-old Josephine Bell decides to run away from the failing tobacco farm where she is a slave and nurse to her ailing mistress. Then we have 2004, New York City. Lena Sparrow, an ambitious first-year associate at a law firm, is given a difficult, highly sensitive assignment that could make her career, finding the perfect plaintiff to lead a historical class action lawsuit worth trillions of dollars to represent the descendants of the American slaves. Assuming those two are connected somehow, I'm really excited. I've been really wanting to read a book set in this time period, so I'm happy that worked out, right? Lucky that worked out. Okay, so this is the book where the author's last name starts with the same letter as my previous book. So then from this book, I need to pick a book that has fewer pages than this book does. So this one we are at, we have multiple perspectives in here too. I love it. This one we are at 370 pages. So I'm like, I need a shorter one. So I'm going to pick up one I picked up not that long ago. It's Homegoing by Yagiazi. This one has not even 300 pages. So, oh wait, 30, oh, that's acknowledgements. That doesn't count. 300 exactly. I like it. This one, so excited. So we have 18th century in Ghana. We have two half-sisters who are born into different villages, each unaware of the other one. One is going to marry an Englishman and lead a life of comfort in the palatial rooms of the Cape Coast Castle. The other will be captured in a raid on her village and imprisoned in the very same castle and sold into slavery. It kind of follows the parallel paths of these two sisters. I've heard amazing things about this book and beyond excited for it. Beyond excited. So from here, for my next book, I need to find a protagonist that is a different race than the protagonist in this book. We can do that. So I'm going to go with another book I just picked up like a couple weekends ago. Is The Librarian Spy by Madeline Martin. Back to my World War II historical fiction. But I love it because this is set with Ava, who just got a job as a librarian in the Library of Congress, like life goals right there. She thought it would be a pretty routine, quiet life, but then she gets an offer from the U.S. military to have her come to Lisbon with a mission of posing as a librarian while working undercover as a spy gathering intelligence. I can't go through Historathon without having some sort of resistance woman spy type story. I just can't. So it's gonna happen. So then after this book, I need to pick a book by an author who blurbed this book. So I had to be strategic. This one is blurbed by Kelly Rimmer. I have a new Kelly Rimmer book. Can I find it? No. So as a placeholder, I'm just going to hold up this one because I already read it, but it is by Kelly Rimmer. This is actually the book I want to read is The Things We Cannot Say. I know I have it somewhere. It is somewhere. I'm going to find it before I have to get to this prompt. Okay, so once I read The Things We Cannot Say by Kelly Rimmer, not this one, but this is a really good book, FYI. My last prompt is I have to read a book that has the same number of letters in the title as Things We Cannot Say, which The Things We Cannot Say has 20 letters in it. I just counted this and realized I counted them wrong. This has 21 letters in it. How about we just pretend the A is not there and go with Bridge Across the Ocean by Susan Meisner. Close enough, right? Yeah, I can make up the rules. It's fine. Susan Meisner, I love her writing and the historical fiction author. Like, she's fantastic. So we have February 1946 and present day. World War II is over. The recovery from the most intimate of horrors has only just begun for Anneliese Lang. She's a German ballerina. Just wants to escape her past and get out of there. So her and her daughter decide to join hundreds of other European war brides aboard the renowned RMS Queen Mary to cross the Atlantic and be reunited with their American husbands. Their new lives in the United States brightly beacon until their tightly held secrets are laid bare in their shared stateroom. Present day, facing a crossroads of her own life, Brett visits the famously haunted Queen Mary at the request of an old friend when she finds what she finds will set her on a course to solve a 70-year-old tragedy that will draw her into the heartaches and triumphs of the courageous war brides and will ultimately lead her to reconsider what she has to sacrifice to achieve her own deepest longings. I've heard, because I just read a Susan Meisner that was fine, and from that video, a number of people said that this one's better. So I'm hoping it's a little better. So those are my 9 books that I'm going to read for Historathon. We'll see how far we get. I can do 8 books is my normal for a month. So I have high hopes. But I really hope you join us for Historathon 3.0. It's going to start November 1st and end November 30th. It's a month-long readathon where we really just concentrate on historical fiction reads. Would love to have you join us for the group read for The Lost Girls of Willowbrook. We will do a live show November 30th. If you want to join in the fun and do the Stitch in Time challenge, it was an interesting thing. Like I said, it opened my eyes to some books I haven't looked at in a while. Totally challenge you to do that. If that doesn't work with you, just pick up a historical fiction and you win. It sounds good. There are no rules. It all works. Anyways, head over to Amanda's channel and see what she put together, as well as Gloria, and see what she found, because all of our TBRs are going to be different. Check those out. I'll leave those linked below. Otherwise, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you next time. Bye.